Lena, heartbroken and yearning for peace, found solace in the isolation of a dilapidated farmhouse. She had left behind a life filled with noise and chaos, seeking a place where she could hear her own thoughts and mend her broken spirit. Nestled amidst sprawling fields, miles from the nearest town, it promised sanctuary. The vastness of the field seemed to stretch endlessly, offering a sense of freedom and space that Lena had longed for. The farmhouse stood as a relic of a bygone era, its weathered wooden frame whispering tales of time's passage. Each crack in the paint and each creak of the wood told a story of resilience and endurance. Its price, a steal, reflected its eerie reputation. Locals spoke of its haunted past, but Lena, driven by her need for solitude, dismissed the rumors as mere folklore. But Lena, seeking refuge from her own demons, paid it no mind. She stepped through the creaky door, feeling a strange sense of belonging despite the house's dilapidated state. The silence at first was a balm to her soul. It was a stark contrast to the constant noise she had left behind, and she relished the quiet moments of introspection. Each creak of the floorboards, each sigh of the wind through the eaves, seemed to echo her own solitude. The house, in its own way, seemed to understand her need for peace. Days melted into a tranquil routine. Lena found comfort in the predictability of her new life, where each day brought a sense of purpose and calm. She found solace in restoring the neglected garden, her hands finding purpose in coaxing life back into the earth. The garden, once overgrown and wild, began to bloom under her care, mirroring her own journey of healing. As the sun dipped below the horizon each evening, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Lena would retreat indoors. The beauty of the sunsets became a daily reminder of the world's wonders, even in the midst of her solitude. The old fireplace, once she had cleared the accumulated dust and cobwebs, crackled back to life. The flames danced and flickered, casting a warm glow that chased away the shadows of her past. Its warmth filled not just the room, but a small corner of her aching heart. The fire became a symbol of her resilience, a beacon of hope in the darkness. In these moments, the farmhouse felt less like an escape and more like a home. It was a place where she could rebuild her life, piece by piece, finding strength in the simplicity of her new existence. A sanctuary where she could rebuild her life, piece by piece. Each day she felt a little more whole, a little more at peace with herself and her past. Yet, as the days turned into nights, a creeping unease began to seep into the tranquility. The farmhouse, with all its charm and history, held secrets that Lena was yet to uncover. The shadows seemed to whisper, hinting at stories untold and mysteries yet to be revealed. The first disturbance was subtle. A faint scratching sound, like tiny claws against wood, emanated from beneath the floorboards as Lena lay in bed. She dismissed it as a field mouse, a common inhabitant of old houses. The kind of noise that one could easily ignore, especially in a house as old as hers. But the next night the scratching returned, louder this time, more insistent. It was no longer a sound she could brush off. It seemed to be coming from directly beneath her room, the very spot where she slept every night. Sleep became an elusive dream. She found herself tossing and turning, unable to find peace. Every creak of the aging house, every rustle of wind in the trees outside her window, sent shivers down her spine. The once comforting sounds of her home now felt like a symphony of dread. Lena tried to rationalize the sounds. She told herself it was just the house settling, the wind playing tricks on her ears. Old houses settled after all. They groaned and creaked, whispering their age through the wooden beams. They groaned and whispered their age. But these whispers felt different, more sinister. But deep down, a primal fear began to take root. A fear that something was terribly wrong. One particularly windy night, the scratching escalated into a series of distinct thumps, the kind of thumps that made her heart race. It was as if something heavy was being dragged across the floorboards beneath her. The sound was unmistakable and terrifying. Her heart pounded in her chest, each thump reverberating through her body. She could feel the fear coursing through her veins. Fear, cold and clammy, tightened its grip. She clutched her blanket, hoping it would offer some protection against the unknown terror lurking beneath her floorboards. Driven by a mixture of fear and morbid curiosity, Lena crept out of bed. She crouched down, pressing her ear to the cold, dusty floorboards. The sounds were clearer now, a rhythmic thump, thump, scrape. It was agonizingly slow, like whatever was down there was struggling to move. She grabbed a heavy iron poker from beside the fireplace, her hand trembling around the cold metal. Her mind raced, conjuring up